One of the most recent installments in the MCU, I Am Groot, just goes to show how successful animated stories can be. Though the series of tales are naturally short, they are utterly delightful and are something quite fresh within the franchise. It also marks an important step in the MCU's evolution as more animated series are in the works. Along with the second season of What If, there are Marvel's Amazing Spider-Man freshman year to look forward to, though it was recently revealed that the latter is simply MCU adjacent rather than part of the main continuity as initially pitched. Honestly, it wouldn't be surprising to learn of even more animated shows in development as it's a medium that consistently works well for these kinds of stories. If that's the case, then these characters and teams would be good fits for such projects. Howard the Duck. One of the best options for a solo animated series might be Howard the Duck. After cameos in the Guardians of the Galaxy films, he was featured periodically throughout What If, and that might be the best place for him. He is a strange character, but if they can make a cranky raccoon a fan favorite, surely that can do the same for a sarcastic duck. Whether a full-length show or a series of shorts like I Am Groot, a project for Howard the Duck would allow for some fun commentary and satire about the MCU itself and could incorporate all sorts of ridiculous side characters. Plus, Seth Green would be able to continue his good work as Howard's voice too. Squirrel Girl. Another weird and underrated Marvel character perfect for an animated series is Squirrel Girl. She was actually intentioned to join the MCU a while back in the ill-fated New Warriors live-action show, played by Milana Vaintrub, but that obviously never went anywhere, and considering the time it was expected to arrive, it likely wouldn't have connected to the franchise the way the Disney Plus series have. An animated series might be a great way to acclimate casual and unaware audiences to Squirrel Girl before bringing her into live action. There are plenty of storylines to adapt from the comics, and it could star Vaintrub again, since she continues to voice the character in other projects, such as the Marvel Rising series of short films. Pet Avengers. While DC League of Super Pets establishes a franchise in theaters, Marvel can introduce their own team of super pets, the Pet Avengers, in an animated series on Disney+. This would likely require the introduction of popular animals like Lockjaw, Lockheed, Zabu, and Redwing. Thankfully, though, it could also incorporate characters not on the team in the comics like Goose, Toothnasher, Toothgrinder, and Cosmo the Space Dog. They'd also be a good fit for an I Am Groot series of shorts, but it would definitely be worthwhile to experience a fleshed-out story. Their comics origin is linked with the Infinity Stones, so since the MCU has largely moved on from them, perhaps a Pet Avengers series would entail some multiversal adventures. Strange Academy. This year's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness ended with America Chavez becoming a student at Camertage, learning to hone her magical abilities. This could seamlessly set up an animated series adapting the Strange Academy comics run from only a few years ago. Essentially, Doctor Strange establishes a formal school to teach young magical beings. At this point in the MCU, however, it would likely be Sorcerer Supreme Wong heading up the academy. This could incorporate characters like Dormammu's son, Doyle, and/or Nico Minoru from Runaways as students alongside America. It's not only a fun excuse for more Wong, but it could add some more fresh, juvenile energy to the MCU and allow for some artistic exploration of magic and the supernatural. Gwenpool. Although the MCU has accomplished incredible feats in elevating B or C-list heroes, there are still some characters deemed too weird or complicated for live action. One such character is Gwenpool, the strange amalgam of Deadpool and Gwen Stacy, first created in 2015. Deadpool is lovably irreverent and unconventional, but Gwenpool takes up a notch, which is why animation might be where she excels. Like Howard the Duck, A Gwenpool show could satirize the MCU from within and have her team up and/or fight nearly anyone. She'd be able to break the fourth wall, though She-Hulk attorney at law is beating her to the punch in that regard, and being on Disney Plus could actually lead to some unexpected crossovers. Power-packed. The accessibility of television has allowed audiences of all ages to engage in MCU content on a regular basis, though it might be time for a show to be specifically geared towards children. The perfect group for such a series is definitely Power Pack. They are a team of 4 young siblings, Alex, Julie, Jack, and Katie, who are granted powers by a dying alien. Importantly, a Power Pack show still wouldn't shy away from mature topics and could also involve some other young heroes like Moon Girl, the Young Avengers, and/or Franklin and Valeria Richards. Part of the appeal is that it wouldn't need to be a consequential series, but it could develop the Powers kids enough for them to arrive in live action. Machine Man animated shows are great for characters whose designs and power sets might be too confusing or complicated for the live-action side of things. That's the case for Aaron Stack aka Machine Man. He is an android like Ultron and Vision, but he operates more like Inspector Gadget, transforming into all sorts of weaponry and machinery, something that would translate easier in full animation. Despite being around since 1977, he's still a fairly obscure hero, but this type of show could help him grow in recognition and popularity. This could also allow for other robotic characters ranging from life model decoys to Jocasta, and even Ultron again to feature too. Spider-Punk. There's hope with Spider-Man freshman year that more Spider-Man related content will be able to happen in the MCU despite the contract complication with Sony. Of the many worthy characters from that sector who could do well with an animated series is Hobie Brown aka Spider-Punk. There are some fun Spider-Man variants, but he is something special, which is why he could be featured in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Spider-Punk would be yet another character who could do well with either a full show or a series of shorts. What would set it apart is the music, as that would have to be an important stylistic element. It will be interesting to see if this ever comes to fruition. Dazzler, an alternative character that would incorporate music in an impactful way, is Dazzler. Her powers literally allow her to transform sound and music into powerful blasts of light and energy, which could make for some very interesting animation. As a mutant, she is part of the X-Men, and her introduction is contingent on theirs. When they do finally make their way into the MCU, hopefully then Dazzler can take center stage. More likely, though, currently is that Dazzler would play a more significant role in X-Men 97, the continuation of X-Men, the animated series arriving on Disney Plus in fall 2023. Marvel Apes. Another ridiculous series that could follow the Marvel Zombies trajectory is Marvel Apes. As the name implies, in this universe everyone is a primate, and the premier superhero team is the Ape-Vengers. Like Marvel's Zombies, it would be best to try out a show like this in a single episode format and what if, but it strangely might have what it takes to be a show worth watching. The show could go beyond what was done in the comics and incorporate the characters make popular since its publication, like Ms. Marvel or Ironheart. Additionally, it could be a way to have Hit Monkey feature in the MCU and/or lead to a crossover between Marvel Apes and Marvel Zombies like in the comics.